Hello. Hey. How's it going? Cool. So, all right. Can you hear me? All right. I think it's good. All right. So I'll cue it. Hello. All right. I think it works. Okay. Yeah. Good to be back. Yeah. Bye, Bobby. I'll see you later. And yeah, how's your holiday, guys? Hope you're enjoying that. I think I did take some day off, so I didn't touch my laptop for I don't know 3 days. Yeah, so this week I'm back to working. So here you have this streaming. All right. Yeah, I hope you're enjoying the holiday. And I guess some of you are still taking holidays, right? Right. Okay. Yeah, it depends, I think. I think for us it's like we don't have a lot holiday for Christmas either. I think it's just for one day off. So the day of the Christmas, and then like so people will take their holiday, their day offs, like accumulate the day offs, and usually they would do again a week or 2 weeks day off during this season. So it's just really up to you, I think. But yeah. So I didn't take a lot. I didn't take a long Christmas holiday uh, because I also have another trip in January. So yeah. Okay. So I think for this time, this streaming will be in the middle, and then I think the next one will be in January. In let me check. So I think I have two more scheduled live. Where is it? So I think then it's January 9th and then January 11th. So yeah. So and next week I'm taking a day off as well. So yeah. So just be aware that we don't have this streaming next week, and then we'll see you the week after the next week. And yeah, I think cool. Oh, I think we should start. We could just start right away, I guess. Yeah, I think I really like that doing live streaming on YouTube is like you can go backward. So so if you prefer like to see something that's from the beginning, that you can always do it. But not all the streaming platforms support that. I think Twitch would also support that as well. But the one I did in the Chinese community is like you can only see live, and you are not allowed to go backward. And after the live streaming, that you need to upload itself. So yeah, just saying. So if you come later or anything, that you can always start from the beginning, and yeah. So I think let's do a quick catch up and about the changes we made 2 weeks ago, last week. Dependency. Okay, so this is the avoid re-rendering on route navigation that we did that in the last episode. And then navigate on different guides, so that whenever we change the guide, the content of the Nuxt playground would changes. And currently we are relying on the HMR, so that we don't restart the Nuxt server at all. We just change the files, and Nuxt and Vite will grab the changes automatically. And when necessary, Nuxt will start. For example, like if you enable the page routing or not, it will be enabled. The server will restart. So that's the case. And so I think currently, like, we don't do a lot of thing. So, and I think there's one thing that we might need to do later, is that some guide that can accumulate, how to say, they can change the package.json, so that it can add new dependency, for example. And we also want that. And when a package that changes the dependency, we should kill the server and do an install again. And that I think that's for later. It basically means that we have soft switch. So soft switch is just changing the file, and hard switch is like we'll kill the server and install the dependency and restart the server, so that we got a new fresh state. So that's the case. And then we have dependency upgrading, linking, and yeah, and I have this PR, and this PR I think is really nice. So remember that once we did is this thing. So last time I didn't have time to find a proper way to do it, so I hard code it, so that whenever the route changes to this page, we load this guide, and then whenever but this does not scale, right? Whenever we add more example, we need to change this file, which is not something we want, is to manual labor. And this PR is really nice. It uses a meta import meta globe to globe all this entry file, and by default import meta globe is asynchronized, so that's it will not ship with the main bundle, but with a dynamic chunk. So I made some changes. I think that's the original one. So the original one is just like made up map. It just globe this file, and it puts all the files under a .patch file directory. So this is really nice, because also that Nuxt content will ignore any files that are starting with the dot. So actually, we don't want this patch to be part of Nuxt content. It just serve as a static asset of each pages, and we want it to be the reason we put inside this folder is like we want to co-locate those files so that we can manage them easier. So this is really nice. So he picked the name of .patch, and later I changed to .template. So I'll just show you that's how the files look like. So here you have the content, and you open a view. So instead of one.app.view.markdown and then another folder, you can actually have an index.markdown inside this folder, so that you can group all these things together, while that's on the routing side is still behave the same. So the one dot is a prefix by Nuxt content. So in the real path, it'll be removed. It'll be removed as slash views slash app slash dash view. And so the number here, the number dots here is like for you to order this content rather than like sorting alphabetically. While that's in some cases like your content have certain order, you want to keep it better organized. So this is the convention. So those order will be those number will be used to order this route and then removed in the final route. And just for your information, and then I put it inside this dot template, so it'll be ignored by not content, but we can grab those files. And I changed the, it's initially starting with the import meta globe and check if the path is starting from dash views. Well, that's views. I think that's currently we only put inside the views, but I think ultimately we want it to be like any folder it can be, and the view is just like I kind of forgot that's why I picked the views name, but I think later we'll reorganize it. So the view is not something that we shouldn't hard code it. So we basically want everything with a dot patch or dot template. So I later changed this PR. I changed the files to dot template, and then I did something here. It's like just remapping the keys. So that I just remove all the things. We just remaining this the final route. So here is just remove the content folder, and here is just remove the dot template dot index, and then here is like dash D, which is number, plus is one or more, and dot. So it just basically means that it's number dot, and we just remove all the number dot. So in the final, I just pointed here, so you can see all the keys inside the template, and here just like we're just grabbing the final path. So it'll be like views app.view app slash view, sorry, app dash view, and views routing. And then here it becomes simpler. It's like when the path comes in, we just check if the path is presented in the map, and if it is, we just mount it, and otherwise we just unmount the previous guide. So and use the default. So that's it. So pretty simple. And I think that's pretty smart. It's like every time we add a new dot template file, it just works. So yeah, that's a really nice enhancement. And then I have I made a small changes. If you remember that last time we introduced a magic comment like / generate files for meta, and we were once like checking if the comment exists, and then we replace this comment with the file content that we grab from the file system. And here, because now we have a convention, it's pretty simple. It starts template / index.js.ts, and then we can just match this ID, and then we just insert these files inside it. We just insert the content based on the file name rather than the content. So then we can remove this magic comment because sometimes we will forget about it. And yeah, that's it. And then it's basically making it more automated. And then I have upgrade dependency and precise scroll position of the terminal. And so here, the thing is like whenever you resize this terminal or close it, like here, it'll kind making the canvas size. It kind of make the terminal canvas resize, and I think there's something that we could improve indeed. So it's like the position of the scroll is not it's not persisted whenever we close it and open it, but here it's like it's being fixed by this PR, and it's more like a workaround. So it basically check if the show terminal is being toggled, and if it's toggled, then we preserve this height to to be the current height of the DOM element, so it does not changes. And then later, after this is like getting close, so we got the before closing. This is flush sync, so it's before closing. It preserve the height of the DOM, and then after it's being open, it just set to initial, so it's being reactive to the parent. Well, that's when it's being closed, it just preserve the previous height, so it doesn't trigger the rescoring. So this is a bit like a workaround. I think there's something that we could do to fix it better on the Xterm side, and I will see. And maybe it's because this I'm not so sure it's like this fit add-on. I'm not so sure if we are able to kind of disable it when it's being closed or something. So this is something for the future. It's just a small detail. And then I update some to-dos. So in order to see that what we are going to work on later, so I update some to-dos. So to be honest, there's not much to do. Yeah, there's not much to do, but I just try to think about it. So I think most of the part will be on the content side or the developer experience, because actually I think that on future-wise we already doing more than learn.svelte.dev, because we have the Monaco editor, we have TypeScript. While that's learn.svelte.dev is just a plain called Mira. So I think we already adding more feature to it. But on the content side, we haven't started to write the content yet. And to support different contents, we also might need more features. For example, like we want the content for each guide to toggle some features. For example, like when we're trying to do a tutorial about view reactivity, we kind of want to hidden all the details of Nuxt. So we may only want a single view file to kind of demonstrating how view works and how ref and how each things work. Or maybe that's we are teaching auto import or something like that. So something like this is like we want to minimize this playgrounds, the thing that can be like when I think that's whenever we saw these pages, there's a lot of things going on. And I think for beginner it can be a little bit overwhelming. It's like what these files means, right? And what this terminal means. That's why we want to hidden the terminal. So in some cases, we may also want behind this. So it'll be like a simple like this. So I think that's when we navigate to each page. When we want to introduce views reactivity, I want to hide all these things possible. So make things easier so that the user won't be overwhelmed by too much information. And when the tutorial got deeper, to say that okay, and now you got the basic of view, and then we want to introduce you the package.json of Nuxt, for example, and then we can have the guide to open this file tree, and then trying to explain us which files, what files means, and for example like this. So we want the capability for each guide to toggle some features, and also like maybe to configure the file filter. So in some cases, like when we haven't introduced Nuxt.config, maybe we want to hide this file, and we only show certain number of files. Currently, we already hidden some files. Like if you remember the client, the injection layer. What is that called? It's called layer playground. Okay, so it's a playgrounds layer, and we already hide that. And there's a lot, some files is like npm-rc and npm-log and nuxt-rc. Some of those files is just like we don't want user to care about, and some of the file is for internal, and some of the file just like we will hidden it, but when you download it, it's still required, but we just not present it here. So currently it's hard-coded list. So we want the guide to provide those lists, so that on each guide you can see more files, while that's still being runnable as a whole. So yeah, and where's the file? Where's the to-do file? And that's the thing. And we also want the solution for each guide. So basically, for each guide or each tutorial, we may want to introduce some practice or challenge for the user to say you should do something, and then we will see, like, we'll guide you how to do it, and then you do it by yourself. And if you want to see the solution, we also want to provide the solution. For example, like if you want to create a page and create a Nuxt link to link that page, for example. And so those cases, like we want to do it, and we want to provide a solution, and also like a verification if possible. I think not all the task is possible to do the verification, but I think at least we could do some of them. And so for example, like the example I just made is like if you want to ask the user to create a route and create the next page link, so we can injecting a client-side plugin to kind of query whenever the HTML being fired, we will search for if there's a link linking to that route, and if the route exists, for example, and if the verification passed, and we could do a like congratulation or something, and then a button of add this page. So I think it's add the button so that you can contribute to this page if there is anything that is not it's not wending well, or like if there's a typo you want to fix it. And this is something that can encourage that contribution. And a search feature, I think search feature is important. So we basically want to have being able to search for the content and navigate to the pages. And with the search function, we also want the command case system, which is this thing. It's like you want to search for it and then you write a command for it. And so we want to have a command case system so that you can do keyboard navigation, I think. And embedded Nuxt docs. So this is something I'm not so sure if it's possible. So basically we want to say if you click a page, and when you click a page, if it's part of Nuxt.com, so currently it's just jumping to the Nuxt.com, right? So I think that would be interesting if we pop up a panel inside, embedded as an iframe to show the content of Nuxt.com. And then you can just avoid jumping between tabs, that you can just click it and have a quick insight. And if you close it, or if you want to preserve it, you can always open it in another tab, something like that. So it's just a small nice to have feature. And maybe about page. For about page, I would like to explain that's how this tutorial works. And like, for example, like we use web container, we use Vola for type checking, for example. And also I'm thinking to add a welcome screen. So welcome screen is like the first time you enter this playground, you shows up a pop-up of a model. It's like to show you like welcome to this playground and explain that's how this playground works. And also this is a bit trick. I'm thinking that when we show the pop-up, we could add user read a little bit, right? And while we initialize the established web container behind the scene. So precisely it's getting faster because it's already doing some work when you are reading the welcome screen. So I think because it's also because like the first time you need to install the dependency, well, that's the third and second time the dependency being cached. So I'm still not so sure that's how web container cache the dependency. So for now, it's just download the page, download the packages. But I think if I refresh it, would that be cached? No, it's still not downloaded. I'm not so sure how it works, but maybe we'll figure out some way. So the what did I say? The package will be cached. So this the first time will take a little bit more time, and then the second time should be faster. And so we can use this welcome screen to save some time. But of course, I think the main purpose is like to let you know what to expect on this playground. So so this is I think this is the catch up, and also the to do we're going to do. And I have no particular idea of what to start. What do you want to see? Or we can just go from up to down. Either way. So I think verification sounds interesting and quite challenging. Or like maybe inbred Nuxt docs might also do. So so I think the first is like I need to check if it's possible to inbred it first. So I think for the easier part, I just do here, and then I think I just do it here. Would that work? No, it does not work. So it refused to connect. So so I will check with the team to see if it can opens up the maybe when it's being deployed to like learn.nuxt.com, it can be connected, and I will see. And so this is something I think currently we are not able to do it, and we'll see how we can fix that. I think you just basically configure a cross origin header on the website itself, and it should be fine. Wait, is that HTTPS? I don't think it's the case. Yeah. So so basically it's just cross origin thing, and so this will be this basically will be left for later. And okay. So I think that's maybe we could do from the content side. We can do like each guide to toggle some feature. So we basically want a feature set, an object to control which features are enabled or not. So at least here, I think we have the types, right? I think we already did a little bit here. So we have the feature, we have the starting file, starting URL, JSON override. So this is not implemented yet. And I think maybe that solutions would also need it. So that's another topic. So this is to do. The solution will be another set of files that will override on top of the files to provide the solutions. So here we have the terminal show node.js file. So I think let's make it easy. So it's just file tree. And then features, terminal, and file tree. Maybe download. So I think here is like okay, I think we can start from these three features. Should be fine. So here is the index.html, index.markdown, right? So basically that means we could actually have a template here. So this will be starting file app hello world, and this is the index page. So for index page, we may want features. Why is the type is not being inferred? Here, let's check. Template. Yeah, it should be fine. Okay, we have it. I think you just reload the server. So for terminal, maybe we can hide it. We can hide the file tree. So so currently we have those features, right? And I think it's inside the playground, and we have a mount guide. All right. So mount guide is here. So I think basically we want features ref. So here it should be a shadow reactive. Should be a reactive. I think it should be fine. And then we have the features, playground features. All right. So we want to hide these features, and basically I think. Okay, I think ref makes more sense because we want to override the whole object. So so features. So the difference between ref and reactive is like for reactive, you just make an object reactive, and you are not able to swap the object entirely. Whereas if you want to swap the content, you can just remove all the keys and adding new keys, but which is not very efficient. But ref is just holding a value, so you use dot value. So that means that if you want, you can replace the entire object, and also like you can also put another different types like primitive, numbers, literal. So so for ref is like something that we want to replace the object. So it'll be a little bit more verbose to use. So every time you use features, you need to feature the value. Well, that's but Pinia is like auto unwrapping it, so you should be fine. So so mount guide. So mount guide here is just like yeah, so it's working. And else so we just reset. So when there's a guide, we update the features, otherwise we just reset to empty. So so here you see the type. This will be boolean, all right? But it's actually a nullable boolean. So it's like is that called nullable? It's just optional. And so actually this contains 3 states. So this contains 3 states. I mean, it's like you have true, false, or undefined. So undefined means that we don't change anything. But for true, it's like we open the terminal. For false, we close the terminal and maybe hide this entry. So this is something that we might do. So file tree is to be the same. Okay. So for features, we got the features, right? And I just find that, okay, here the terminal, show terminal will be inside the UI state. So that means we want UI to be used UI state here. So we also want the UI here. And so we want to watch for the features whenever it changes. So let's check if features the value the file tree equal to true, like this. Would that do? I'm not so sure. And I think, and else if. All right. So basically, if it's undefined, we just ignore it, because like we do a very straight assertion if it's equal to true or false. And when it's undefined, we don't set it. We just keep it as it. So here that would be the send. So that's when the terminal is being opened. And so another, yeah, I think this would do. And download. I think download we don't need to do it. So download is just like for on the net. So here, if it's ready and play dot features and download is not equal to false. So when it's not equal to false, we will show it out. And I think also here is like terminal. So v if. So terminal is not equal to false. So I think that would do. And maybe that's restart the server. Refresh. All right. Oh, interesting. It's not matching. So here is like it's an empty string. So I mean, that's interesting. So because like here I put a template here in the root because we want to have the default page has a template, and I think there is a little bit thing. Wait, what? Where is it? Here. I think it's on the pages here. So basically key. So you just I just replace all the keys. So that means I can do a fallback. So it'll be a slash. Or another way is to here the path is like to path to be replace the ending slash. So I mean maybe that makes more sense. So if it's ending slash, we remove it. So that means it'll be matched with the empty string if the path is just a slash. All right. And if you see here, the terminal is gone. And okay, I think that's make it easy to make some comparison. That's here we have a routing view, right? And here routing view we can have features, and we show the file tree. I think then we restart it. So here by default, you see a very clean playground with nothing basically. And if you navigate to routing, yeah, it'll shows up the panel, and if you go back, it'll hide this panel. And yeah, that works. But I think it's not very smooth. And for some reason, let me check. So here for editor, we have a split panel here, resize size. Yeah, panel size free. Yeah, I mean it works, right? So I think here we just set to 20 and to 0. Okay, I think here maybe we also need to do another thing is like we only set the tree size to when it's equal to 0. Maybe equal, I mean doesn't make sense, but to when there's already a panel, we just don't resize it to 20. Or when it's being closed, we resize it to 20. But I still not thinking this is the case. So if I refresh the page, so the panel will be closed. Okay. And if I go routing, but I don't understand why it's coming from the right. It's a bit weird. If you go routing, it shows up. Yeah. I don't understand if you go like 0.1 with a do. Okay. Why is that? What's that? It's slowly moving out. Is that, do we have a minimal size? No, we don't have a minimal size, right? That's that's pretty interesting. I don't know. So, I think something that's maybe we should disable the animation on the style. So here we have the style the override, I think. Transition background. If we disable the transition, okay, it works. Really? Hmm. But it's still quite weird. It's like why this panel goes from the right. I mean, if you do it by yourself, then it's actually fine. No, there's a still transition. Maybe there's something wrong with this end dragging, start dragging. Panel size file tree. I don't know. I don't really know why. Here the size is calculated. Maybe it's because of this. Let me try. Let me check. So, playground. Main playground. If it's mounted, this is not the same mount. So we have the, where is it? The editor, right? If it's mounted and use mounted, that shouldn't be a case. All the thing looks good. So here is like basically means that we want to assign for the width when it's not being mounted, and when it's being mounted it should be short circuit. So if I want to do is just mount it and then I do more explicit like this. Please make it better. I'm not so sure. All right. So I don't think this would help this situation. It still slowly moves. Okay, you see it's being moved, but actually the width of this component is not changing. Style. Wait. So init file tree. If I remove these two, this was for SSR. No, it's still the same. It's still trying to move. So it probably has something to do with the Monaco. So the Monaco is trying to enlarge itself, I guess. So I think this is not necessary because we don't have this issue with the other panel. So I think here, I mean, it might be the case. It's just like the editor is trying to growing. So here, you see the width of this panel is currently 560, and if I move it, you see it's like increasing crazily. Okay, yeah, this is the thing. So it's just trying to enlarge this panel, and then because it's based on ratio, so it's actually causing the panel to be outsized. So this is not something we want. And overflow hidden. It's already overflow hidden. Okay, maybe it's go. Maybe here. So that means here we want to add overflow hidden. Okay. It seems to work. Okay. We just inspect the size of the canvas. So here is like 200 looks good. 200 looks good. And if we go back, it'll be closed. And then if we go here, okay, nice. So you'll see it's being closed, and then here it's being open. Okay, we find the ghost. All right, so I think here maybe I'll just wrongly close this. So if I remove it, it should be having a little bit of animation. Nope, really. There's no animation. How come? But yeah, I'm okay with that. It doesn't need to be transmit. It doesn't need to be animated. But okay. Okay. Dragging. So it's still dragging. So this is a bit weird to me. This is weird. It's like when it's being horizontal, the transition is height, not width. Okay. I think here there might be a mistake. So it's like now it makes more sense. Yeah. So here I think that's split pans. So this project the default, where is the GitHub? So the default CSS has something wrong, and this project is actually not being maintained for a while. So I'm not so sure if I send a PR to it, it'll be accepted. Where is it? Example? Is that example? Oh no, this is the example. So index, or maybe space. So where is it? But anyway, so I will show you. It's like do they have a file? Nope. So I'll just show you in the dist. So here there is where is it? Split panel, right? Split pans. I passed it here, and source, and here you have the dist and then the CSS file. Okay, so I'll just format it, and here I think, yeah, you see that here most of this has the selector here, but for transition it does not. So that means here you have two transition competing with each other, and well, that they have the same level of importance. And is that selector specification? So basically means that there's like two class. So by default, like I think how CSS being calculated is like the more specific. Yeah, I think this is it. So the more specific here is like a very general. It's only for selecting a class, but this is like a combination. It's a class inside the class. So the specific how can I pronounce it? Specificity. I don't know. Yeah, so it's more specific than the two class would be more specific than one. So usually this will override it. But here it's like those two have the same level, and that means when it has same level, the later wins. And because here is like we are nesting it, so we are nesting one horizontal and one vertical and one horizontal. So here, of course, this will be matching part of the vertical and part of the horizontal. And because those two are the same level of specificity, I don't know, specificity. And that means this would wins. This would always wins. So even though there's a vertical class inside this panel, and those two will be matched, but this will always win. So for the width transition is being overridden. So here you basically, to fix it, you need to select that you directly trial of this vertical. So even though it's being netted, this horizontal will not being matched with a vertical panel. So this is the fix. And to be honest, I'm not so sure that's what we could do about it. So I think the easy way is like I'll just patch this package. So PNPM comes with a PNPM patch, and you have the package name. And I think I just do, and I have a CLI called patch I, which is interactive. It's like so for PNPM patch, it's just creating a temporary folder, and you need to navigate to the folder and to change some files and commit it. So here, this is just all in one. So it's just like I'll show you. So it'll create a temporary file, and it opens the VS Code automatically. And here you have the panel, and here I'll just formatting it and go back to the here. So adding this to selector, okay. And I just close it and say here, if you finish editing and commit the patch and you press yes, it'll calculate the diff between those two commits. So I think later I will send a PR for sure. But let's get our thing work first. So because I'm not so sure that's when the PR will be merged. But I will do it anyway. So here you will see a div is like the original CSS is like this, and we change to this because we formatting it for better readability. But here you also have a package and pnpm patch dependency, and you have a local patch. So every time you install the package, the patch you made will be applied to this package. So you always get the exactly content of it. So when I restart the server, you will see that the changed CSS should be shipped. And of course, there's another way. It's just like you can copy over the the CSS and vendor it. That will also do. And here, if I go to the routing, you see it's being open, and you have the animation. If it's closed, it's being closed. So yeah, here we have the animation, so it's being fixed. And if you want to verify, we can check. So here is this panel. So here you see this is like only being matched with the height, and then for the inside the panel is this one, right? So this is only matching with vertical. So this is it's only doing the transition for width. Okay, so all right, I think that we could do a commit. So fit maybe let me revert it. So I think that's in the README. I'll check this thing, and then I'll commit it together. All right. Yeah. Why I'm not using Vim? I tried it, and I'm just like I'm a short memory, so and also I'm not a keyboard guy, so I find myself struggling remember all these key combination. So learning Vim would be super hard for me, and I don't think the time worth it. So I think if you invest the time, I think I will get used to it. But I mean, VS Code is very good, so I got a lot of cool feature, and I'm managing that I'm using mouse. I'm using mouse to navigate my code. So I don't have a strong reason to use Vim. I'm not saying that Vim is not good. I know it's being like very efficient for a lot of people that get used to it. And yeah, for me it's just not work for me, and maybe it's not worth for my time, or I'm just lazy. I think I'm just lazy, in short. So yeah, I think if you are interested, you should definitely try it. Or if you're happy using it, you just keep using it. And I think people are just using the tool they used to, and they feel comfortable with. So yeah. So Arc UI, I'm not so sure. Where's the Arc UI? I didn't know this project. It provides React, Solid, and Vue. Interesting. I just wish they can get the syntax highlighted better. Okay. What's this? I mean, I think that's for me is like I wouldn't introduce a component library just for just for a feature. But okay, looks not bad. Resize trigger, root, and it's powered by Zig. It's from the guy who make chocolate. Really? So what happened to chocolate? Is that chocolate? Okay, I saw. But what's the relationship between those two projects? It's a new project? You're trying to Canary? That's pretty cool. I didn't know. I never heard about this project. Okay, so it's part of Chocolate UI. Okay, it's headless library. Okay, 1 year ago. Okay. That would be interesting. Do they have a core package? Autonomy? Okay. I think this is the core, right? Autonomy. That's cool. Zag. This is just a rewrap of Zag. Okay. This is interesting. I never heard about those things. And this, I think this looks... Wait, what? So this also has a component. Okay, so many layers. So here is like, you see that Ark is just a wrap with the Zag. While that Zag is also offering components. Oh, just hooks. But it also has a view, right? View, JXX, and SFC. Whoa. I mean, it's super impressive to me that people working for components library. This is so much work to do. And okay, I wouldn't imagine that's myself working on a component library. That would be too much work for me. Wow. This is amazing. They ship a lot and they write very detailed documentation. That's pretty impressive. I'm also wondering what the highlights they are using. Token. Is that Prisma? It looks like Prisma to me. I'm not so sure. Yeah, they should use Shiki. I'm sorry. I should switch to light mode. I mean, it should default to light mode, to dark mode because my system is dark. So, for splitter, is that a splitter? Edible. Where is it? Range slider, segment control, toggle group. Did I miss it? Where is it? Oh, what happened? I just slider? No, this is not slider. Nettest. Where? Wait, what? How come I didn't find it. Is that? No, there's no splitter. But I mean, here it's just the package itself is just a splitter, right? Yeah, you have the splitter. Autonomy. Is that autonomy? No, it's not autonomy. Anatomy. So I'm just doing a search. Split view, split pen. Okay, it's not part of view. I see. If I go React, no, it's not here either. Okay, because it's not part of the components. Okay, there's no example for this thing. Okay, not at all. All right, so I mean, this looks amazing. I think I should try it. Looks solid to me. I mean, there's so many level, so much abstraction. So I'm curious if the Chakra UI is on top of the Ark. No, I didn't find it. If that's the case, then that would be super interesting. And okay, this is not the same. This is not. Okay, this is just basically. Okay, this is not. I was thinking that it's like adding layer and layer. It's like Arc wrapping with Zag and Chakra UI would wrapping with Arc, something like that. But I think they are doing a very good job. It's like they are creating a new framework, I guess. And it's amazing that you have the view support first class. So I mean, I think we're a little bit off topic, but I'm fine with that. I think I'm happy with exploring that and learning new things. I mean, I think for me, it's like I'll just most of the time I'll just stay in my comfort zone and I will use the tools I know. So getting learn to new things always what's this? Okay. Getting you to learn new things will be always a challenging thing, but I mean that would be rewarding, right? So I'm curious what to, I know I heard they are building a state machine for kind of shared reactivity, something like that. I think it's Zag itself, right? So it's a state machine. Okay. And then they have the visualizer. But I don't know. What's that? Wait. I'm a bit confused. The UI is not, I mean, it looks interesting. So it basically means like if it's idle, and then if you make it focus, and then it will say focus. But I think the color is a bit confusing. It's gray out, but grayed out I think is meaning that it's not clickable, but actually it's the current state. Okay, or maybe the trigger is not something that has state. I think the focus has the state. So for idle, and then you click blur, you just go back to only being triggered by focus. And if it's being focused, you go to first, and wait, what this? It's okay. I mean, looks interesting. I think I need to take more time to look into it. I think, whoa, this is so much complex. Okay. This is something that's really worth have some integrations to tools like DevTools, right? So if you have Zag, and then it can have a DevTool turning this live machine, turning this state machine, and also like if it, that would be cool if it can bind to a reactive state. So that means if there's a button, you can click the button and expand the state machine. And if you click it, the component, the button will actually react. That would be interesting. So if it clicks, is the button is really click. Or like if you can change to the state and you have the button to commit the state, and that would be cool. Okay, I think this is a bit too complex for me. But anyway, I would like to see how they do it. Okay, so they use TXX for view, and okay, here panel index. Okay, splitter. Splitter. Okay, define component, factory, context pops. Okay, so there's a context. Use splitter. Okay, yeah, this is something that I'm looking for. So, okay, so this had, okay, each component has its own package. Interesting. And use machine, normalize pops. I was afraid that it can be too heavy, but it looks okay if they even split components into package. That means they care about the size, right? And they have used machine from view integration and splitter connect. Emit. So this emit comes from view, I think. It's interesting. I mean, they put a lot of efforts on view, while that's, for me, I never heard about this thing. So I think maybe that's, I'm not so sure, but that's what I feel. It's like for each framework, for example, like Vue and React, it's like we don't like really communicate between two community, or really. So it's like people working for Vue and they create new things, and like the React community doesn't really care about really know about it, and vice versa. It's like I'm super inside this cycle, inside this circle, and inside my little Zoom, that I never heard about something that the other people is working on. I mean, I'm not so sure. That's, I just don't understand why I never heard about these things, and it looks a lot more solid and actively maintained. So I think I should definitely try it. Okay, documentation roadmap. So roadmap is just a roadmap that just form view form. Okay, cool. Because I don't usually use component library myself, but I mean headless components, that's pretty promising, because I can do the style. So I was afraid about using components library because I don't want being kidnapped by the styles. If it's being upgraded, my style will broke, or something like, or limited my imagination. So I think I will see. So because I'm actually trying to make a split panel library, and it's super hard, to be honest. And if this can work better than split pans, and I'm happy to use it. All right. So yeah, thanks for the tips, and I'll definitely look into it. So at least I should give it a kind of deep learning, and then, and now I'm not mean deep learning, but a deeper understanding, and learn it a bit, and maybe try it, and to see if that actually works for us. All right. So this is something um, that let me do it. So let me add it to the to-do list. So get started, and then we have the split pen. right, splitter. Okay, it's in preview. So I know this topic is super hard. So adding this thing to the to-do list. Try. All right. So file filter. I think I'll leave that for later because this should be easy. But I think it's better to do it when we have more file to test. And solution for each guide. Or maybe add this page. I think add this page should be easier to do. So so for that we can go to the content. No, I think it's component docs. So here, if I add a little, I think it's Nuxt link, and edit this page, and this is to do. So this is auto. Okay, I think I just move it out, and then I have another mini content, and we have a border top base, base, and maybe dashed. I'm not so sure. So px4, py2. Okay, so let's see what it looks. Okay, I killed the server. All right, so I have this thing, and I can score. I can score the page, which is nice. All right, so basically, I think, how can I do it? I'm not so sure, but let's starting it first. I mean, I care about it. So here I should go to the icons, and I think it's using this and using Duto and add. Okay, so which one is this one? So Duto. No, add. So this one works. Okay, I think this works. We don't have a button. What the class we have? So it just takes text fade, and okay. So if we do it manually, we just say hover text primary and opacity 100, and when the default opacity will be 50, and then item center gap 2, and then we go back to the thing. All right, so we have this add this page, and depending would be, or maybe you should put it here. I'm not so sure, but I think adding it to the button make more sense. So if I do 8 is too much. 6. So I just want this icon to align with the content. I think this is aligned. And then how I can get the URL of the page. Okay, I think what I want to do is I will just go to the source code, runtime, and components. So I want to look into this component doc, how it's being solved. Okay, so here use runtime, use route, right? So the path will be use route path, and then okay. So the path here will be here. So this is the content query props. And where is being used? Okay, content query. And what is the content query about? So path here, and advanced query. This is legacy. Result, use runtime config content, and then we have use async data. So query builder, there's a query builder, and query builder comes from types and query content. So query builder comes from query content, and query content is valued this one. Okay, so here you have the composable query and create query fetch query content. So I don't want the content, I just want the real path, the source path of this thing. Let me search for it. Edit this page. No, it does not mention this. So it does have this thing. Okay, so let's check query content. Fetch content navigation. What is this? Okay, I think it's this path, right? Subfolder. Nope. Query content head. Use content. Document driven. Okay, let me check. So I just try to do this. Okay, so content driven is a mode. Okay, so if I'm going to use it, and then I will need to use these things. Sorry. So what is content driven? It doesn't say it. Okay, introduction. Content driven. This mode is still experimental and may break in the future. Okay. So content driven, that means it supports. It supports markdown files in the pages, right? Okay. Not so sure if something we should use. Use content. I mean, this looks nice. We don't need to do the fetch ourselves. I mean, I think we could try it. I'm not so sure if it works. And so content, right? So here we do content. No, where is it? So it's content driven, and we say choose. All right, and the server will restart. And would that work? Oh, it works. It works fine. I mean, all right. So let's see. What is there anything we want? Okay, there's a lot of things. Draft false, partial false. And I think maybe I should just, so the page equal to use content. I just console log it. Is this okay, it's an object. I just hide these things, and I'll see if this being printed object. So okay, it's an object of refs. Okay, so it's previous and next. Okay, this looks pretty promising. And okay, so these things surrounding next page. So we have the page and we have the path, but we don't have the file path on global. How can I get the file path? So this is the navigation. Okay, this looks pretty nice. This is something we really want to kind of show all the things here, the navigation. And the next will be the pages, right? Okay, file. Okay, I saw it. Okay, that's the thing we want. So basically we want the URL. So we can do source URL equal to, so basically we want pages. We only want pages. Compute it. And then page. Is this a ref? This is a computed ref. The value, the file. And then we do our repo. Oh wait. So go to this thing and do the content, and here we got the link, and yeah, and plus, and adding a slash. Okay, so we do 2, and we do href. Sorry, it's a target. So we want to create in a new tab. All right, and let's see if it's right. So if I refresh the page, I add this page. Okay, it look good. And if it's add, so that means if I change the bob to add. Okay, so that means here I change the tree to add. And that should do the job, I think. So let's refresh the page again. So introduction, add this page. If I click it, okay, you just jump to these files in the source. All right, cool. And this is pretty nice, pretty simple. I like it. And so I think we can just check verification solution, this one. So we have that one, and solution for each guide. I think for solutions that would be also simple. I think we could do it, but I guess we don't have a good way to verify it yet. But it basically here is files, right? So file map, and so basically we could say file map, and then we have a dirt, right? String. And then I can put it all inside these things. And directory, and so this is a directory, and this is a directory, and that's it. And I return file map, and then I can do files, and then solutions, equal to await promise. Also, I want to make it parallel and resolve ID files and get file map, and then solutions, and then I do it here. So files, I can make it more clean by doing an object, an array. I mean here like this, and then solutions, and then I can join. I want like this. So so it basically read the folders under files and under solutions. And did I resolve it right? I just check if the resolve ID dash yeah, and I think I'm doing right. So if I refresh, it should be good. Okay, so index page is coming through. And if I want to verify, I can check this thing and inspector and index.ts.template. Oh, I think I am checking the wrong page. It's being stuck. How come? All right. So I think it's here, this virtual file. This one. And dot template. So if you have a content, and here the solution is set to empty array because we don't have any solution file yet. So yeah. And it looks good. I think it looks okay. And so basically, I think we could also have a solution. So I think so maybe we could have a button here. We can say show solution, and this would be only show when the solution exists. So it will be play current. So it does not expose the current guide, really. So playground, and so we have the current mounted guide. So it's called mounted guide. Okay. So it'll be mounted guide, and then what's this value? Oh, it's mounted guide, and then solutions. So basically it means that we want to make sure or maybe easier is like so here what we do is like if the object, okay, so if there's no file, we returns undefined. So that means the solution can be undefined. It's not empty object. It's just like it can be undefined. So we only show this button when there's a solution. So here we can do we could add some content here. So this is a content template, right? Yeah, to make it easy, we just do it here. So we create a new file, solutions, and then it's app.view, and we just copy this app.view. This is the solution. All right. So here it should be injecting files and solutions. All right. And you see that here you have the show solution. Well, currently when you click it, it does nothing. But if I go to another route, you see the button is just gone, and show solution here. So then I think if we want to show the solution, and okay, so I think this file is getting a little bit bigger, a little bit big. So we want to split out later, and yeah, but here is like just mount guide. All right, so we want to mount the guide. Create, update or create files, right? All right, I think here we want to another function, mount files. And then we copy this over to make it easy. So here it's just files. And then I copy this whole function inside this thing. Override, and then here. Right, it's like this. And dispose. And we can have a mount guide, and then with solutions maybe. So the files here, if override equal to this, and if with solution. So I think that's we should do a shallow copy here of files, and if with solution, and then we just basically assign solutions here, and then we override the files. I think maybe we could do it here. It's like making it a little bit simpler. All right. So basically, it will be overridden, and when we have the solution, we can also mount the solution as well, and mount files override, and this should be awaited. And then show solutions, then that would be on click, and so it'll be play mount guide, and then would be play mounted guide. We will mount the guide itself again, and then we pass the true, so it'll be mount the solution. And not so sure. Let's try. I hope it works. All right, and let's wait until Nuxt starts. All right, if I click it, what happened? All right, I think there might be something wrong with it. This is the solution, and when I when I do the thing. Okay. Okay. And okay, you see the files changes, but the content of the editor is not changed. So that means, okay, I think I know the reason here. Because we were checking if the mounted. No, I think we were checking something here. Get model value, element value here, file path, editor. I remember that we did that thing. So mounted guide, and here we are checking this, and because the value does not change because we are mounting the same guide again. So that means we should add another flag. I mean, we're adding show solution. Showing solution. I think showing solution, maybe we can make it read only or not. All right, I think we need to refactor it indeed, for sure. And this is getting too complex for now. And so, and here, if we see like show solution, and we want it to be mount guide here with solution. So we basically add this value to it. And so when showing solution, so we're basically doing like this. Okay, so whenever this value changes or the guide changes, we will update the files. So ideally this should work. It's not the most elegant way, but I think it works. So if I'll wait for it a little bit. I don't know why it's not cached. All right, so when I click show solution, this is the basic example. Okay. No, this is not what I want. Dispose is okay. I think there's something. All right. I think this would be a little bit tricky. So here it's like update or create files, and we'll add a new dispose, right? And here, because like maybe it's happening too soon, so we basically revert it to be like without any changes. And then here we again that we are trying to I think here override. So I think basically we can log it to see mounting files, right? And here mount files. We do a wait, it should be fine. I think dispose is happening before it. Okay. I think this value shouldn't be changing here. I think I made similar mistake. So I think it should be happen together. So that's because like it was triggering the updates before the value being set. All right, so I think this worked. I'll just click it. Yeah, it works. All right, so showing solution. So maybe maybe what I should do is like having a toggle. Right, so I'm not so sure, like maybe we also need to preserve the changes user made, and when you show solutions and getting in the bag, you should preserve the changes. But yeah, and that would be a bit more complex. So here you just like play and showing solutions or not showing solutions. So I think maybe we can change to toggle solution, and for the styling we can do it later. Okay, so if I do toggle solution, this is the solution, and color back is index page. Cool. And we will see when the Nuxt ready. Okay, if I click toggle solution, this is solution, go back, solution. Okay, it works. No. I think the HMR is not. Okay, I think maybe we're triggering update too fast. So here, I think instead of this depose function to do, only make. So because currently we're dispose, we're recovering back to the initial state and then we mount the solution. But in practice, it's like we have maybe the template has a lot of files, right? And the solution might be only one file need to be changed. So ideally, we should only apply for that one file. Or maybe we should compare the content and to see if the file exists or not. And we only override it, but without like reverting back to the initial state and then write it again. So so currently it's just like it's two option. It's two operation for one file. It's resetting to the initial and update to the new file, which we should reduce it down to only one changes. So that means the dispose feature, the dispose method can be, we need to revise this, and I think we basically need to compare. We need to save the content of the file, and we need to compare, and we also need to know which files are extra, and that way so that we could remove some files. So this I will leave it to later, and so here we can do here. We can check it and persist. It's a persist. Users changes when toggling solutions, and then only do necessary changes when navigating between guides. All right, so we don't do reset. We only we do a diff. We do a diff and only change the files. So only make necessary changes. So here we can move the already checked thing down to the bottom. And yeah, that's it. So basically we can see, we can commit it. Basic show solutions feature. All right. So, okay. I think we can call it a day. And yeah, I'll answer some questions. Do I use external monitors or keyboard? Yeah, I have an external monitor to check the stream and the chat. and that's why I'm just raising my head up. And I don't have an external keyboard, and I actually want to have one. So the one I want to have is called HHKB Studio, and I'm still waiting for it. It's still out of stock, and I think it's only selling in Japan and the US, and I'm still waiting for it. So the reason I don't got a keyboard because most of the time I just take my laptop out, and I'm not always sitting in my office. So I'll just move around and I take my laptop. So I use my laptop's keyboard, and I don't find a strong reason to use an external keyboard, especially when I also want to have the touchpad. And the Max touchpad is very close to the keyboard, so I pretty like it. So you will see I'm sometimes I'm just moving my mouse and types a little bit simultaneously because it's so close, so I can use my other finger to move the mouse while like I'm still typing. So I want this keyboard is more like it has the dot of the mouse that you can move, which is very similar to the red dot on ThinkPad. I'm not so sure if the ThinkPad still have the red dot nowadays, but I think a few years ago or like a decade ago, the ThinkPad's keyboard has the red dot, and I pretty like it because it's make it easier. You don't really need to move your hands outside of keyboard, just move your mouse. And I think to use it too long, your finger will hurt, but it's super efficient. And then it basically has mouse and has the keyboard inside, so that makes this looks interesting. So I don't need my mouse, because if my mouse set to the right side, that's every time you need to move your hands from your keyboard, and the mouse is super long distance. And yeah, so of course if you're a keyboard user, you don't have this worry. But for me, it's like I think having mouse is necessary. And also the side is you have a full slider, so you can do like some scrolling or like some tab navigation. So this is something I want, and I'm still waiting for it. I think they just came out this October this year, and I think it's super popular, so I haven't got it. So yeah, and I'm still waiting for it. Yeah, but I think that's for the other keyboards. I think I have tried a few keyboard, but in the end I just still find that the how do you say the efficiency or the productivity is more important to me, and rather than the feeling of the keyboard. I mean, the Max keyboard is not the best, but it's okay, and it's super short distance, so it kind of saves some energy. No, it saves some my energies on my fingers, so I don't need to push so hard to type type something. And yeah, so currently I don't have an external monitor. I don't have an external keyboard, but I do have an external monitor. And another thing, what font are you using in VS Code? So here, yeah, you have a link of there's a repo of it's just a markdown file. So it's antf/views. So you list all the things I'm using, and the font I'm using is input mono. So it's input mono. So oh, this is Adobe font, but they have its own website. So input mono is a bit interesting. So I think this is something that somehow you can see is a bit old school, a bit old generation. I mean, here is like, but at least it's I think it's one of the few first fonts that's doing this. Is it's allowing you to choose the different style of each letters, and this is like very customized. So if you download it, it generated on the, I think, remotely, and you download the file with the style you want. But this is I mean here, I mean currently, I mean nowadays there's a font that it can toggle. They have variation built in, so that you can download one font and then you can toggle it by some variables, and just like the Mona space I just showed you last time. So you can also like choose what the style of it, but with where is it? Here, yeah, with some variation. So you can toggle it by setting this to your configuration, but I think input mono is doing the old way, just generating different fonts. So you customize your preferred style, and you download it as your customized font file, as a unique font file of your own. But it still works, right? And I still find this is to be super simple and nice looking, and it's just like without extra serif or something. And so I just found out of it. I tried in Monospace a little. I think they indeed make a lot of innovations. I'm pretty liking it. But for looking at, for coding, I think I still kind of prefer input mono a little bit more. But I think either would works. When I'm focusing on code, I don't care. You don't notice the subtle changes. I'm just focusing on the logic, all the same. So yeah, I hope I give you some insight. I don't know. I mean, if you like Monospace, I think you should definitely try it. It's much more modern, and you see there's like a lot of variation, a lot of new technologies about fonts being used, and this is the most modern fonts, I think. And it also comes with 5 style, and it's pretty nice. Can you use the dev as a single tag? Oh, you mean okay, that's a self-closing dev, right? This one. Yeah, this is a view feature, and this is not valid in HTML. I'm not so sure why. I mean, how hard it can be just supporting this self-closing dev in web, in the browser itself. But I don't know. I really don't know. I think HTML is sometimes a little bit messed up for me. So if, for example, like for image, you are not allowed to have self-closing it. It's just a single tag, but it's just an element. But why is it's not like this, right? So it's not like this. But I mean, you can say that for image you cannot put anything inside, right? But iframe is also the same. But iframe for iframe that required to be an closing tag. But iframe you cannot put anything inside iframe, right? Or maybe you could. I don't know. But there's a lot, like some misalignment about the HTML spec, and I'm not super fond of it. But yeah, I think Vue providing this feature is really nice. Otherwise, you need to do 2 tag. Oh, actually, this is tricky because this this self-closing tag in browser will be ignored, and if a browser see this, it will think this is an opening tag without closing, and it will be automatically fixing your DOM by inserting a close dev tag on the end of your document, and it will break your layout. But I'm not so sure. I think it's pretty, but I guess they don't want to change it because it's already, they don't do breaking change for the web. So if there's any bad design, you just keep it as bad as is. Because there might be some websites relying on this behavior, and if you change this behavior, it might break those websites, and so they need to keep the old behavior, something like that. But yeah, it's funny. But for tools like for Vue supporting that is I mean is a to me is a lifesaver. And yeah, do you think about streaming on Twitch? Not really. I mean, I think I could, but I'm not so sure what's the benefit. I mean, before I started doing streaming, I think it's valid choice. I think doing either on YouTube or Twitch works for me, but I don't want to switch platform because you already here, right? And I already doing some content here in the YouTube, so it's less likely to be I'm just going to another platform unless there's some reason. Or if I do like streaming for both platform, I think that will also do. There's some service to do like double streaming. How to say that? It's like streaming to two platforms at the same time. But I'm also doubt about it. I mean, what's the benefit of it? But rather it's like there are two set of people like I just kind of divide your audience to some of them are on YouTube, some of them are on Twitch, and then the chat room will not be synchronized, so it'll be a bit confusing. Well, that's I think on my side I could use some software to merge those two chat together, but I just find that doing so might be not worth the effort. Maybe I mean, well, like if I'm actually not a Twitch user, so I think initially I picked YouTube because I'm more familiar with YouTube and I don't use Twitch. But what do you think the benefit of using Twitch? Like as an audience, it's like what do you when you're watching stream, when you're watching live streaming, it's like what's the benefit? Or like what's the nice features Twitch has that wins over YouTube for you? And if there is a valid reason, maybe I could try. Otherwise, I think they are pretty close. They are pretty similar. Nap? What is nap? I didn't change anything. Right. So yeah, I don't know. Override. Wait, what? I didn't say that. I mean, do you prefer YouTube or Twitch? And why? Or I think we can just continue doing on YouTube. It take yeah yeah I think it's another problem of the comfort zone, right? Um, I kind of feel it's sometimes a little bit like dilemma. So it's like, should you spend time on something you're already familiar with and make it better, or should you try new things to get more inspirations or different perspective? I think you need to find a balance inside this. It's like if you it's not a good thing if you stick inside the things you are familiar too much and you don't know about other people other people are doing or the world outside. But I think it's not very ideal. It's like if you always looking for new things, well, that you don't have the time to make something good. I mean, to get into deeper. Yeah, I think it's like if you want to develop yourself horizontally or vertically. Is that how you say that in English? So it's like if you want more skills in different area, or if you want a very specialized skill in a specific field, I think you need to balance, and it's always the case, right? So I'm super happy about like trying new things, and I think Zag and Ark is like super interesting, and I will definitely try it. So thanks for sharing this, and I think it's just like take step by step. No, thank you. Yeah, I'm super happy to doing the streaming, and thanks a lot for your feedback. And that will be pretty interesting to kind of work to doing some work on live stream. It's like there's so many of you like work together with me. It's interesting. So usually I'll just work alone and I don't speak. And now it's like doing the opposite. It's like I speak a lot. This is called Zag. So composition, Zag, React, use machine, programmatic control. All right, I think we could, maybe we could call it a day. And if you're still in holiday, I hope you're enjoying the rest of the holiday. And otherwise, I will see you on January 9th. So it's the week after next week, I think. Yeah. So yeah. I think for the Nuxt playgrounds, we already did a lot of progress. And so I'm thinking to kind of end these things and this series soon. I think we can somehow graduate from this. I'm not so sure because I kind of feel right now the big tasks are already done, and I think the big task is like integrating web container and integrating Vola and integrating Monenco and Nuxt content and doing a connection. I think so far we did great, and the rest things like there's a lot of polishment to do, and I would feel a little bit that the polishment is not that interesting to look with to kind doing the live streaming, because like I think for today we made some progress, but it's just a little, just like little feature here and there, and it does not, it's just something that you have to do, but it just not as rewarding as like integrating a new a big chunk of things or like doing a challenging work. And so I think that's also like we need some time to finish to kind of improve the content. So so we'll see. And but if you still think that would be interesting, maybe we could try to what I mean, what I what I supposed to say. I'm a bit lost. Yeah, we could try to kind of play with this playground actually, so we could improve the guide together, and maybe I'm not so sure. I think that's feature wise we have implemented, but for the guide itself, like how the guide being interactive and how we can explain things better, and I think that might need some feedback from you, or like we need someone that does not know Vue at all to try and to see if it can get the basic of how Vue works or how Nuxt work, something like that from this playground, and to verify if the playground is worthwhile, something like that. So we'll see. I think we'll see. All right, and I think we'll call it a day. And yeah, Happy New Year in advance. And yeah, hope you're enjoying the new year. And yeah, I will see you in 2024, right? 2024. Yeah. I'll see you in the next year. All right. And bye.